All right, folks, welcome back to another edition. Rob, we are back, and we are back in a new year. Same faces, new year, Rob. How we doing?
Good. How are yourself, Tom?
Good, good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to yourself, too.
What'd you do? Anything fun?
Watched two of the best college football games I think I've watched in a long, long time. We hung in, laid low. So I got to enjoy watching the games. I did feel bad for you. I mean, that was a tough loss. But as an ND fan, it made me smile a little bit. But it was, I mean, they were great fucking games.
I appreciate that. And I truly wonder if you genuinely felt bad for me, but I highly doubt that.
No, I did. I mean, that was rough, man. Like the first half was.
Yeah, it was deserving though. They didn't get going until late. That's what
I'm saying. Yeah, like they could. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But I thought that was going to be a targeting call. To be honest with you, I thought,
that it coulda, woulda, shoulda. But same with the tutty before half there.
Oh yeah, that wasn't ruled. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple plays that you could look back at and say it should have went the other way, but ultimately, especially the first quarter, they got dominated. It was pretty obvious who watched film, who didn't. I mean, we couldn't run the ball, we couldn't do shit, and Harbaugh really didn't make an adjustment. It didn't look like until midway through the third. So
right, and the whole him with the timeouts, that was horrible management. I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I agree with you. I get it though. His play was kind of all or nothing at the end. It was like, all right, well,
sure.
I'm going to save him. And it's pretty much the same thing when you think about it. But he's laying all his eggs in one basket, and if they got the first down, then the game's over. But
I was dying too with JJ's girlfriend coverage again.
Yeah, with the pervy dad, the touchy dad,
the handsy dad.
Yeah, handsy dad. Yeah, I mean, nonetheless, great game. It sucks to lose like that, especially to whatever I guess you could say underdog. I didn't really have them as a huge dog, but it is what it is. Ohio State game was insane.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah, that was a great game.
I followed down the shame path of taking the over in the Alabama, taking the over in the Michigan, and then for the third leg, he's like, "Oh, let's just take the under into Georgia." I'm like, "All right." So I followed that. That was he texted me after the first. I think the first quarter is like, "All right, I put money on the over." I said, "Oh, that's great. Thanks. Yeah. Appreciate the picks."
CJ Stroud came to play. That was the other thing too. Is like even going into Michigan, I'm like, shoot, how I felt. I thought we were getting buried by Ohio State. They are a better team. Michigan just outran them, and they beat them up front in that game. TCU dominated Michigan. So, again, I thought Ohio State was the better team. I don't know why they were such big dogs against Georgia. I mean, they've beaten up on people all year, and they played well in big games. But, dude, Ohio State is the real deal. I mean, CJ Stroud, when that guy gets going like he was
right.
with Georgia, yeah. I mean, he's so good. But, national championship, I'm hoping it's just a good game. I'm hoping it's not
right.
I don't think
blowout, yeah.
I don't think it will be. So we'll see. But anyhow,
how was your New Year's Eve?
It was all right. I mean, it worked.
There you go.
So yeah, I mean, I was probably on my way home at that point, driving or no, I don't know what I was doing, but I definitely worked. We didn't do much. We kind of just hung low, getting back to healthy still. You sound under the weather still, by the way.
Yeah, I can't kick this thing.
Shake it?
Yeah, it sucks. Once I feel it's good, and then it's like this morning woke up, I started my New Year's resolution, went back to the gym on Monday. Been doing that at like 5 a.m, so I don't know if that's not helping or if it's hurting, but.
Well, okay. So one thing, good on you for doing this workout thing.
Sure.
But here comes the but. Why did it take you until January 1st? These people with resolutions and shit like that, it drives me insane.
No, I see where you're coming from.
I get where you were hurt and stuff like that, but
Well, no, yeah. So, with the whole back and everything, now she's got me down to like once every other week. So she was like, if you want to go back, do it. So I just set that as the goal, to be honest with you.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
The whole new year, new me
Right.
resolution thing, it drives me bananas.
Right.
You could start tomorrow and have a full year to do it.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I never really understood. I guess like maybe it's more just like
it's the mental side of it. It's
it's the clean slate, new year. I could kind of erase what I did in the past. I get all that, but
yeah,
it shouldn't take a new year to start.
Hey, some people need certain motivation. I get it.
I hear that. Let's talk golf, Rob. We are recording late. We had some maintenance going on at both of our homes. So, and it sucks because we had tease picks. We're still going to give those out, although Sentry kicked off like 4 hours ago.
Yep.
Morikawa, what a savage.
Dude.
Right?
JJ? Yeah.
9 under.
Yeah, but Rom was at 8 under with like 3 holes left.
Was he?
Yeah. He was, dude, even like JJ, it's like, yeah, you got Spawn at 9 under. You got Rom that finished at 9 under. You got Thomas the Train at 8 under. Damn, I mean, this is Scotty Scheffler 7 under. I thought for honestly, like he was just gonna fizz out. Like, he did his thing, and yeah. Finau 6 under. I mean, Spieth 6 under. So it's been good.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, I love the Sentry. Is the 18th probably the best par 5 on the PGA Tour?
Well, it was awesome. Not, shout out NLU. I know we talked about it earlier, but like, did you watch that video that came out last night with him and yeah. That was awesome. Like to see it from like their golf cart view level of filming it, and it was, that 18 is beautiful. I mean, hit a driver off the deck and stuff like that. It's pretty crazy. So
I don't think so. To your point, I don't think the TV cameras do like the undulation of that hole justice.
Right.
No.
Well, that video though, I thought it was cool how they had like the certain areas netted off so they couldn't hit on there because that's where they mostly play from, right? So to see like those little hidden things that we don't see on a daily basis was really cool. But yeah, to your point, like the course looks beautiful, like a pristine shape, man.
Yeah, we need to get out there, Rob. Since we're talking about it, we might as well just jump right into the Book It With T Sentry picks. We'll just again, just for reference, his long shot, Sahith, 45-1. And then he's got Matsuyama, 35-1. Zalatoris, 25-1. JT, 10-1. And his favorite, Cantlay, 10-1. And you could have booked it with T.
Oh, nice.
So
well played.
Those were his picks. Yeah. We apologize again. We're trying to get on a schedule here and make it happen. But,
do you find it at all interesting with the whole Cantlay situation with, now he's sponsorless pretty much? Like, do you feel like that is a live move or no?
Yeah, but I literally just saw an interview 2 hours ago that he said he's not going to live, but it's a little suspicious unless he's betting on himself for a massive contract. Sure. I don't think that's the case though.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting when Andy and those guys at Shotgun Start were talking about it. On one day, it was like, just like how Koepka did it, right? He didn't have that deal for a long time. And is it like, do you want to play the best equipment to finally get that major type deal thing, to win a major, to win that big tournament that you've always wanted to work, so.
Would it surprise me if he went? No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I could see I don't know. I think he knows that he's not going to be a guy like a JT or a Rom. Sure, I think Cantlay could probably sniff out a major or even two, along his career. But I think he knows that this is, this is going to be monumental. It's going to support potentially his family for many, many years. Mm-hmm. I think if he's figured that out. He's like, okay, well, why not jump on it while it's hot?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised by any means.
Yeah.
Speaking of other golfers, Rob, did you hear about this Scott Stallings Masters invite mishap?
I think like everybody heard about it. Yeah, that was funny. I mean, it's crazy that the management office closed and that Scott Stallings lived right next door to it. It's just, it's interesting how things happen. I was laughing though, like, the video of, not the fake Scott Stallings, but the normal Joe Scott Stallings sending the invite back to him. And did you notice he had his business card clipped to the invite?
No, but that's a pop move.
Oh yeah.
It's a great move.
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. So I thought that was funny.
Well, it was hilarious. And did you see what Lou Stagner tweeted out?
No.
He said if he's Scott Stallings in Scott Stallings 2.0, the guy who received it, he goes 100%. I say nothing to no one, and I show up and like go to the first tee.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine just rolling up to the first tee and you get paired with like, not even somebody crazy famous, but like maybe Max Homa, and Max just looks over and he's like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, the marker. Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah. And then you put up like a 7 or an 8 on the first hole, and then you're like, okay, what's going on here? Not even
right.
By the time he sees your second swing, he's probably like, okay, what's going on here? It would be hilarious though if like nobody knew and he was able to check in and like get to the first tee. I'd highly doubt it, but
they would never. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Scott 1.0 would have reached out in time, but it was a story.
And then to your point on his end, I mean, can you imagine sitting there like, what's up? Like, I know everybody else got their invite.
Right.
Said he was checking his mail like 5 times a day.
Right.
Anxiety levels had to be through the roof.
Yeah.
I mean,
imagine.
Yeah.
Especially with them having to fly to Hawaii, not having it.
Yeah, this is true. And then so then he's got to go play and just worry the whole time. We're worried about, when a paycheck doesn't hit, the direct deposit. Think about the Masters invite.
Right. Exactly.
Pretty wild. Speaking of other money issues, Rob, did you hear about the Big Money Classic? And that
I caught a little bit on Twitter. I thought it was pretty funny about him pushing back, saying they're going to be paid out on the day of the tournament and stuff like that. So, but to see crazy. That, yeah,
it's absolutely wild. For those listening, guys, that might be newer to the podcast. So this is going back. This is just going to be a quick rundown. The Big Money Golf Classic is ran by Dustin Manning, and it's like, I wouldn't even. So I believe there was some Korn Ferry Tour guys that played in it, right?
The first one, I think, the first go around.
Right. But it's kind of it's a mini tour. It was pretty big at one point, but this guy was offering, what was the whole gist of it? Like 250,000 or something like that paid out.
Yes.
That was
right.
Kind of like the headliner.
Something along those lines.
Right. So then anyways, this thing blew up in this guy's face. He wasn't paying people. Supposedly sponsors were fucking him, and then supposedly the bank ended up bending him over by Stripe not releasing payouts and so forth. Anyways, he went on Ryan French's podcast, The Grind, and actually I don't think it was The Grind at that point. I think it was just the Monday Q podcast. Anyways, went on there, told his story, sounded like a complete rat. It sounded like a huge scam. Anyways, this guy got buried by a ton of people. And then he tweeted out, not necessarily him, but the company, the Big Money Golf Classic, which supposedly he's stepped down from, is coming back in 2023 after not paying, hundreds of people. They have payment plans set up with people for like, it's over 10 years. Like the whole story is a complete mess. And for them to even like have the audacity to come back and be like, yeah, like nothing ever happened. Like, hey, yeah, we're back in 2023. And by the way, we're going to be paying people out like on the day of events. Like who's playing in these tournaments?
Yeah, I mean,
Any
obviously can't be trusted.
right. Anybody that knows the backstory on this guy, why would you ever put up your money? Like, he was ruining lives last year by, there was like former LPGA players, spending like their last 3,500 to get into this thing,
Right.
and not to get paid out. Literally, he was ruining people's careers, and it was insane. But anyways, yeah, they're supposedly back, and then it was, Ryan tweeted out about it. Like, it came back up. I even side texted him about it. Just like, is this guy insane? So I told Ryan, I'm like, we need him back on the pod. We need to know more, and we need to know, like, where's this money coming from? One,
Right. Right.
two, how are you even starting another mini tour before even paying out other people?
Right.
So I don't know. I thought that was,
It's crazy.
dude, it was eye opening. When I saw it, I was like, oh my God, this guy's got a lot of nerve coming back.
Well, Twitter was great with it because of them just obviously tagging Ryan in it the whole time.
Right.
It was,
And speaking of Twitter, Rob, Twitter it's been awesome. Like, the last week, a lot has gone down in the world of golf in the last week. You have a ton of action, especially with the release of everybody's, it's the new year. So all these companies are now releasing their new products for the year.
Mhm.
New drivers, new irons, stuff like that. But to go along with that, Rob, you have all these massive partnerships coming on.
Yep.
Good went to Callaway. No laying up what went to Titleist.
Yeah, they left Callaway, went to Titleist. Yep.
Then you got, foreplay with TaylorMade still. And then who was the other one?
We had kids switch over to be a Wilson staffer.
Yes, this is true, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
But, hey, kid, and Kiz is all about that bag. Kiz isn't one to be, and same thing with like Cantley. I'm sure Kiz is like, yeah, I'll play your clubs for,
oh yeah, right,
20 mil more, sure. But there's just a lot that's happened in the last week even. But I would say a lot of these deals going on are so smart, so strategic by these golf companies. These kids, like, especially Good. I mean, they started no more than 2 years ago. They have buku followers on YouTube, and that's what it is now, Rob. It's all views, it's all clicks. These companies know. And to your point, you said this earlier. Hey, why would we go pay the 62nd best player in the world when we could pay these 4 kids who have 100 million followers?
Yeah, I think right before it said that, I was listening to foreplay that he was, why would you pay like the 65th player when you have more engagement with these younger YouTube influencers that have, a massive following, like you said. It's smart on them. Like, it was cool to see NLU go to Titleist and how now they have more access to everything. And that's better for us because we get to see more behind the scenes. We get to see all that stuff. So it is exciting.
Correct. And I think I saw that same interview, and one point Rappaport made was pretty interesting, is that, and it's two totally different demographics. Like, all these kids watching these YouTube videos, like, Good, Bob Does Sports, those kids really aren't even watching like the PGA Tour live, right? So like, that's mainly like our demographic and older. And all these younger kids are more, they'd rather watch like a replay of the Sentry tomorrow on YouTube. Like, that's just how they get their information. That's how they get everything. So it's crazy to see the switch we're starting to see. Obviously, IG and Twitter, the last 3-4 years with social media has been crazy with marketing and sponsoring, especially YouTube. But now you're starting to see, like, I'd be shocked, Rob, if the PGA Tour show down in Orlando, like, I wouldn't be shocked if that's gone in like the next 5 years. I wouldn't be surprised. Sure, you have merchandise and stuff like that, but like, I think these companies know that Joe Schmo can walk into a PGA Superstore now and test out their club or see their club, or they can go on YouTube or IG or Twitter or their favorite influencer.
Sure.
Opposed to spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to go be a vendor at these golf shows.
Right. Yeah.
So it's wild to see, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, but it's been a good golf week, man. This is like the way to kick it off, man. It's been exciting since Monday. You got the night golf now. Awesome. Got an email today from Sand Valley. So I don't know if you got it or if you're on their mailing list, but that their third course, the Lido, I might be saying it wrong. LIDO is opening, right? Lido. So it was cool. We got to add that to our trip now. So we get to play. I think it opens June 28th, and we're playing it that first Thursday of July. So it's pretty cool that we added that, and it's exciting times, Tom.
Exciting time. Is that why you wore your Sand Valley hat today?
There you go.
Nice.
Big Sand Valley guy today.
Yeah, got the email, got hyped up, had to throw that on.
Yeah, got it added. Got the 3:40 tee time on that Thursday.
Nice. Speaking of, did you see Doak is doing the 10th at Pinehurst?
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter too.
I mean, the last week's been awesome, Rob. To your point, I mean, there's been a lot of hate about it though. Like, on Twitter specifically, always, because Twitter's it's crazy. But anyways, a lot of guys were saying like, why would Doak put himself out there to do the 10th at Pinehurst? And then people were replying saying, well, why don't you wait till it's finished? And you might be eating those words, which I would probably say is true. I don't know, just the whole course design kind of arguments that go on, on Twitter with armchair course designers is crazy.
Right.
It's just crazy to me. Like, I couldn't even imagine getting in that arena and being like, well, Doak and this guy, and they're not doing it right. It's like, well, what do you know? You just play the course? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's wild to me, but yeah, that's super interesting. That's going to bring a whole new audience to Pinehurst, I'm sure. It's just going to add more value. So I'm all for it. I think it's probably going to be insane what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Moving on, Rob. We have big news ourselves coming up this week, specifically the 9th, which is Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be the first of many CGT newsletters.
Yep.
And boy, does it have a lot of information in it.
It sure does.
It sure does. And I'll just give a little teaser. It's not just about what's ahead in 2023, but it's kind of, and the reason we started it is, one, because of all the support we've gotten over the last 4 years from everybody. We just thought it would be in our best interest to keep people updated on, a quarterly basis on what's going on in the CGT. It just kind of made sense for us to do it. So we put it together, and it's awesome. I mean, there's a ton of shit in there. There's a lot of, or not a lot of, but there's something in there that you guys are going to love, I think. It's probably been our top secret, our most top secret thing that we came up with in the last, 3 months that we're very excited about. We'll keep that on the wraps. So, yeah,
quite a few good things in there.
Yeah, make sure you guys check out that. Like I said, that's going on Monday. But yeah, other than that, Rob, are you ready for the top 3?
I'm ready for the top 3.
Let's hear it.
All right. So what are the 3 most things you're looking forward to for your golf game this year?
What am I looking forward to in my golf game this year? I'm looking forward to, Rob, number 3. I'm looking forward to getting back to playing a ton. And I mean a ton, Rob.
So, side note, Katie gave me crap about that last week from last week's pod.
Really?
She caught the snippet, and then she started listening, and yeah, so I got to deal with that.
So I got you in trouble?
No, she was laughing. It was pretty good.
No, I look forward to playing a ton. Number 2 is I also look forward to practicing. We talk about it every year.
Uh-huh.
It's just not going to happen. I'm especially for me. I'm a guy there's guys, trust me, and I wish I was this guy that could just go out and shoot consistent 76s, 74s, whatever. Like it's nothing. For me, it's more about reps. It's, it's staying sharp. That kind of builds the confidence all year. And if I don't practice, I feel like I lose that. And, over the last 2 years, obviously with the baby and, just being busy, it's hard to get out and practice. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm mainly talking about, sure, I could go pick up a driver and play well all day, but putting and chipping, and that's, to me personally, I think like where I'm struggling at right now, which is right around a 6 handicap. I don't think I'll ever get to like a 2 or below unless my chipping and my putting get better. And that, to me, I think what separates the 2 and the 6 is the short game.
Right.
You're not dialed in if you're not getting up and down. So just having that and knowing that's what I got to do in order to get better. Obviously, errant tee shots don't help, but I look forward to actually practicing. And then number 1, I would say, I don't want to say the same number 1 I had last week because that would be stupid. Playing new courses, but I think probably a guy's or a buddy's golf trip. And I don't know what that is yet. Like I said last week, there's potential to go down to Florida in the next month or so. We've talked about doing some additional content in Wisconsin, Michigan. We were up in Lasonia last year with, Golf Unfiltered and Chris McEwen. But figuring out what that is, playing a ton of golf this year and getting back to the roots.
Yeah, no, those are great. Along the same lines, 3, like I want to get back into, I'm looking forward to getting back into a routine of golfing, practicing, I should say, doing like I did when I was at Oakbrook 5 days a week with the range across the street. So I'm going to try to push myself to do that, in the mornings or over lunch, just to get, back into a groove and have the game where I want it to be. 2, I really enjoyed, you brought up Lasonia, and the one thing that I'm looking forward to is like, I want us to do more content, try to do it during the summer, put more stuff out there. So, if we have some exciting opportunities to do said stuff like that again, that's one thing I'm really looking forward to that we can do. And then 1 would be, just getting out there and meeting new people again, right? I think that's one of the best things about this is just meeting other guys and gearheads and just talking golf and having a good time. So I'm just looking forward to being out of the basement again and being out there swinging and being with some, other golf junkies like ourselves.
Right. I was just thinking as you were talking, can you imagine? Well, not even imagine, but just like I'm already anticipating the first day out, Rob. But I've also made, so I promised myself, I think going into last year, I'm like, I'm done playing in, and I think I'm going to hold true to this. I'm done playing in like 30-degree weather. I think it's terrible. It's miserable. I
said that. I mean, like with the back situation, like I don't think I'll play anything below 50 degrees, to be honest with you. Like if Masters weekends, ends up being like 40 or below, I'll be sitting in front of my TV watching it and not playing.
See, I think for me, the over under is 45.
Yeah.
I think I could do 45. The days of like 37, 36, 38, especially with like, some flurries or like wind, I'm done with that. That's over.
I mean, I can't, and I guess I shouldn't say I can't stand, but I find like the videos lately funny, right? Of the guys going out there with, with their drills and drilling the hole to put in the tee. And it's like, what's the point of that? There's no point of that.
No.
Or like I get it. It was 50 degrees last week, but like, you're really going to go to Carriage Greens and spend $50 to ride a cart and play a mud pit? Like, that's not enjoyable. I think you'd have more fun going to a simulator and actually getting some data out of it instead of
Correct.
just to say that you golfed in January or December. I don't know. I don't get that sometimes.
I agree with this. And we're probably going full dad mode right now, Rob.
This is true.
This is 100%.
Showing our age. Yeah, I get it.
Definitely showing our age. But I mean, I get it. We used to do it. It's just, at this age, like, to get bundled up and go play golf, it's like, dude. And then it's not even, to your point, it's not even fun golf because the condition of the course stinks. Everything's hard as a rock. You got 4 layers on. You could barely turn through the ball. We're already bad as it is. Like it stinks. But I'm going to try to, as best I can to hold true to that. And, we'll see come spring when I'm Jones. But, to your point, I'll stick to the simulator and get some hacks in the meantime. But,
and get your reps in on the prime putt.
Yeah, the prime putt's been great. Even chipping with that's been great, which I haven't, I could do that on the SkyTrack, but it's a little wonky. Even short chips, like it's just huge to, like, going back. The repetitions are huge for me. Like I can't emphasize it enough. There's nothing worse. I'll tell you this much. There's nothing worse like going out the first couple rounds and having a short-sided chip. You're like, it feels like you've never done that before.
Right. Yeah.
Because, it's the start of the year, the repetitions aren't there. So that's how I feel every time I'm basically, going out playing golf now, because the practice has kind of been, not there, and the rounds are very minimal last year. So confidence was at an all-time low last year, Rob. But we're looking forward to 2023. A lot of golf, hopefully a lot of content. We got a lot of good shit planned. Like I said, check out that newsletter coming out on Monday, the 9th. I think you guys are going to be pumped about that. Schedules are going great, Rob. They're coming around. Those should be finalized. Well, they will be finalized by the golf show. I don't want to put any deadlines on anything, so I'll just say the golf show, which is the end of February. But yeah, it's been great. We've gotten a lot of
your girl Paige is going to be there.
Yes, she is. That's going to be great. So, hopefully we could maybe get a pic with said Paige. Maybe she'll hold one of our towels up.
Maybe.
Well, not too high, but just hold her towel up, but yeah, we're looking forward to 2023. Especially with the Sentry on. Looking forward to the end of this, Rob. And then until next time, we'll see you next episode, and we'll catch you in the fairway, Rob.
Catch you in fairway, Tom.
See you, buddy.